Picture a cool spring night in New York City, 1964. The city is busy, but as it gets later, the streets become quieter. Streetlights make long shadows on the sidewalk, creating a spooky feeling. A young woman, Kitty Genovese, is coming home from work. She is a bar manager known for being friendly and hardworking. She parks her car and walks to her apartment building thinking about her day and plans for tomorrow. Suddenly, someone comes out of the dark and attacks her. Kitty screams for help, her voice breaking the quiet night. Lights turn on in nearby apartments, showing that people heard her. People look out their windows, their faces lit by their lamps. The attacker runs away, leaving Kitty alone for a moment. Kitty, badly hurt, stumbles towards her building, struggling with each step. Minutes pass and the only sound is her heavy breathing. The attacker comes back, more determined. He stabs Kitty again, this time fatally. Her cries for help get weaker until they stop. This time, no one reacts. The silence is loud, contrasting with the violence that just happened. The attack lasted over 30 minutes, a painfully long time for anyone in trouble. Reports later said 38 people saw what happened, but only one person called the police after the final attack. The inaction of so many people caused national outrage. The story of Kitty Genovese shocked the nation, starting debates about human nature and our responsibilities to each other. How could so many people do nothing while a young woman was murdered? This question troubled everyone. This tragic event showed a scary phenomenon called the Bystander Effect, where people are less likely to help a victim when others are around. It made society face uncomfortable truths about human behavior and our moral duties to each other. The bystander effect is not about apathy or indifference. It's a phenomenon that reveals the intricate dynamics of human behavior in social contexts. It's about the complex interplay of social and psychological factors that come into play in emergency situations. When we find ourselves in a crowd, our individual sense of responsibility diminishes. We are social creatures, hardwired to look to others for cues on how to behave. This instinct is deeply rooted in our evolutionary past, where group cohesion was essential for survival. In ambiguous situations, we seek guidance from those around us. This is especially true when we are unsure of what is happening or how to respond. If no one else seems alarmed or is taking action, we interpret the situation as non-emergency, even if our instincts tell us otherwise. This diffusion of responsibility can lead to inaction. Think about a time you were in a crowded place and you heard a loud noise or saw something unusual. Your immediate reaction might have been to look around and gauge the responses of those nearby. Did you immediately jump into action, or did you first look around to see how others were reacting? This hesitation is a common response and highlights our reliance on social cues. Chances are you hesitated, observing the reactions of those around you. This moment of hesitation can be crucial in determining whether or not action is taken. This natural human tendency to conform to the group is at the heart of the bystander effect. Understanding this phenomenon can help us recognize the importance of individual action in emergency situations. One of the key reasons behind the bystander effect is the diffusion of responsibility. When there are multiple bystanders present, the responsibility to help becomes divided among them. Each individual feels less personally responsible for taking action, assuming that someone else will step up. Surely someone else has already called the police, we tell ourselves, easing our conscience. This diffusion of responsibility is amplified in ambiguous situations where we are unsure if help is actually needed. We look to others for confirmation, and if no one else is acting, we assume that the situation is not serious. This collective inaction creates a spiral of silence, where everyone assumes that someone else will take responsibility, and ultimately, no one does. Imagine walking down the street and seeing someone lying on the ground. Is the person injured, intoxicated, asleep? The uncertainty can be paralyzing. We hesitate, unsure how to interpret the situation. We glance around hoping for a clue, for someone else to act. But everyone else is doing the same, looking to others for guidance. This is pluralistic ignorance in action. We privately reject a norm or belief. In this case, the idea that we should help someone in need, but publicly we go along with it because we see others doing the same. We assume that others have more information than we do, and if they're not acting, then it must be fine. Section 5. The spotlight effect, fear of judgment. Another factor at play is the fear of social judgment. We are all acutely aware of how we are perceived by others. In an emergency situation, we may worry about overreacting, appearing foolish, or making a mistake. This fear of judgment can be a powerful deterrent to action, especially in ambiguous situations where we are unsure if intervention is warranted. We imagine all eyes on us, judging our every move. What if we misinterpret the situation and make a fool of ourselves? What if we make things worse by intervening? This fear of negative social evaluation can prevent us from acting even when our instincts tell us to help. Section 6. The cost of caring, risks and consequences. Helping others often involves personal risks and costs. We may be putting ourselves in physical danger, exposing ourselves to legal liability, or simply sacrificing time and resources. These potential costs, however small, can tip the balance in favor of inaction, especially when combined with the diffusion of responsibility and the fear of judgment. We weigh the potential costs of helping against the potential benefits. If the situation is ambiguous and we are unsure if our help is truly needed, we are less likely to take action. This cost-benefit analysis may happen unconsciously, but it influences our behavior nonetheless. Section 7. Breaking the silence. The power of one. The bystander effect is a powerful force, but it is not insurmountable. Research has shown that even one person taking action can break the cycle of inaction and inspire others to help. When we see someone else taking responsibility, it breaks the illusion of unanimity and makes it more likely that we will follow suit. This is why it's crucial to be that one person who is willing to step up. By taking action, we not only help the person in need, but we also empower others to do the same. We become role models, demonstrating that helping is not only the right thing to do, but also the expected thing to do. Section 8. Recognizing the signs how to spot a situation. The first step to overcoming the bystander effect is to be aware of it. Recognize the signs of an emergency situation, someone calling for help, unusual noises or sights, or someone who appears to be in distress. Don't dismiss these signs as nothing. Trust your instincts. Remember that situations are not always clear-cut. Ambiguity is the bystander's worst enemy. If you're unsure if something is wrong, it's always better to err on the side of caution and investigate further. You can always walk away if it turns out to be nothing, but your intervention could save a life. Section 9. Empowering the bystander's steps to take action. In this section, we will explore the crucial steps you can take when you find yourself in a situation where someone might need help. These steps are designed to empower you to act confidently and effectively. If you find yourself in a situation where you think someone needs help, here are some steps you can take to ensure the best possible outcome for everyone involved. 1. Make eye contact. Establish a connection with the person in need and let them know you see them. This simple act can provide immediate comfort and reassurance, letting them know they are not alone. 2. Assess the situation. Take a moment to gather information and determine if it's safe to intervene. Look around for potential dangers and consider the best course of action. Your safety is also important, so make sure you are not putting yourself at risk. 3. Call for help. Dial 911 or your local emergency number. This is the most important step you can take. Provide the dispatcher with as much information as possible, including your location, the nature of the emergency, and any other relevant details. 4. Delegate tasks. If there are other bystanders, assign specific tasks to them, such as directing traffic, providing first aid, or even just keeping the area clear. Coordination can make a significant difference in managing the situation effectively. 5. Stay with the victim. If it's safe to do so, stay with the person in need until help arrives. Your presence can provide comfort and reassurance. Talk to them, keep them calm, and let them know that help is on the way. Remember, you don't have to be a hero to make a difference. Even small acts of kindness can have a ripple effect, inspiring others to act and creating a safer, more compassionate world. Your actions, no matter how small, can contribute to a culture of care and support within your community. By taking these steps, you are not only helping someone in need, but also setting an example for others to follow. Together, we can build a society where everyone feels empowered to act in times of crisis. Section 10. Creating a culture of courage. It starts with us. Overcoming the bystander effect is not just about individual actions, it's about creating a culture of courage, where helping others is the norm, not the exception. We can start by talking about the bystander effect with our friends, families, and communities. We can teach children about the importance of helping others and empower them to be upstanders, not bystanders. We can create communities where people feel connected and responsible for one another, where no one is afraid to step up and make a difference. Section 11. A call to action. Be the change you want to see. The story of Kitty Genovese is a tragic reminder of the consequences of inaction, but it is also a call to action. We all have the power to overcome the bystander effect and create a world where people feel safe and supported, where no one has to suffer alone. The next time you are faced with a situation where someone needs help, remember Kitty's story. Remember the bystander effect, and then choose to act. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the one who makes a difference.